ES Audio.
From the Evening Standard in London, I'm Rochelle Travers, and this is The Leader. Shock and disbelief as all P&O Ferries were told to dock this morning, and the company sacked 800 of its crew members, suspending all of its services. In a statement, P&O confirmed the workers would be made redundant immediately as a result of unsustainable financial losses. The move has been condemned by unions as a betrayal of British workers. Simon Calder, the Independent's travel correspondent, spoke to our podcast a little earlier from Dover.
The entire town, or at least the people I've spoken to, are absolutely stunned by what has happened. Effectively, the first anybody knew was around about 8 o'clock this morning when P&O Ferries put out an announcement to passengers saying, we're not going to be running any sailings for the next few hours. Now, immediately, of course, that's a very unusual thing to say. People were speculating, well, is this it's something to do with a cyber attack? Could it possibly be that the company is going into liquidation? But they were keen to say, no, it wasn't. And then gradually things emerged during the day, which revealed that they had a very carefully laid plan that was intending to effectively get rid of the 800 onboard seafarers on their 4 routes and replace them with cheaper people. And there were security guards in place. There's talk here in Dover of there being coachloads of workers ready to start sailing again. And for the town, which obviously is absolutely dependent on the port, it is a terrible, terrible blow to be told effectively you've given years of great service, but now you are now you're finished.
Are P&O Ferries actually sacking 800 members of staff then?
Yes, they have been told you are no longer required, you're too expensive. We will be giving you a little bit of extra compensation to make up for the way in which this has been done. But that's it. Good luck. Go and find another job. It's an awful situation, and really one which is pretty unprecedented in the travel industry. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this.
There are reports that staff are refusing to leave the ships because of advice from the unions. What do we know about this?
Right. Immediately, the rumours started going out. We had the RMT union, the General Secretary Mick Lynch, telling members, do not leave those ships, stay on board. We want to defend your rights, etc. So that does not seem to have happened here at Dover, where it appears that they planned everything so that people were just told effectively kind of go home and we'll let you know what we're doing a bit later on. But it appears that is happening in Larne. Clearly, there's a lot of security personnel who are being deployed to prevent that from happening. But extraordinary scenes at Dover, at Ken Ryan and Larne, and the other ports of Hull and Liverpool.
It's important to say that this is P&O Ferries, isn't it? Not the whole of P&O. Yeah,
there's nothing to do with P&O Cruises apart from the name and a shared very ancient history. But P&O Cruises is continuing absolutely as normal. There is no suggestion that they are in any difficulties at all.
Was this news expected at all?
It is known that the travel industry. Sorry, there's a bit of background noise here. I've just popped into a cafe to talk to you. But it's known that the incredibly competitive channel market has seen large losses, and indeed DP World, which is the Dubai-based organisation that owns P&O, has said really quite late on, we lost £100 million last year. If we do not take this difficult but necessary step, there won't be P&O Ferries at all. So, it's just an extraordinary situation. And of course, passengers caught in the middle of this. I mean, that they are being told, well, here at Dover, just go and sail on DFDS. There's large queues of trucks leading from the entrance to the port back up the hill to the White Cliffs. It's just staggering that on a bright March day, you should suddenly see a development like this.
Has there been a government response?
Well, it's one of those really chaotic situations where you would imagine that P&O Ferries would have briefed the Department for Transport and said, "This is what we're doing. Here's why we're doing it," and and we'll be making an announcement in the morning. That doesn't appear to have happened, and the government, obviously there's aspects to do with business, to do with transport, to do with employment rights. The government sort of seems to have been blindsided by this. It's just a complete mess, but of which one really interesting aspect seems to be the idea that suddenly P&O is going to start sailing again with completely different onboard staff, with none of the experience, the expertise that the current lot have got, and things will carry on as normal. Indeed, they even say that things will improve for passengers. That seems unlikely, but frankly, it's everything about this is just strange and difficult, and for anybody caught up in it, absolutely horrible.
How are P&O going to manage the backlash from this?
Right, that's a really good question. I mean, there will be a backlash, of course, because a lot of people will be appalled by the way that people have been treated. However, I imagine that what P&O is thinking is that with the fall in their costs that this is all about, they'll be able to cut costs and then cut fares across the channel and on the other routes, and therefore they will entice people back. And actually quite a lot of the evidence seems to say that that is exactly what will happen when people see what fares are around. We often say things about, wouldn't ever sail with them again, and then if they're the best company with the best timings and the best fares, well, people generally put price over principle, I'm afraid.
And that's it from The Leader. This podcast is back tomorrow at 4 p.m.